That's okay though. For being so young, you're very, very smart. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So keep up the good work, man, and stay flat, okay?
Okay, I'm a flat earther. I'm a flat earther, flat earther, flat earther, flat earther, flat earther, flat earther. I'm a flat earther, flat earther, flat earther, flat earther, flat earther, flat earther. I'm a flat earther, flat earther, flat earther, flat earther, flat earther, flat earther. I'm a flat earther, flat earther, flat earther, flat earther, flat earther, flat earther.
That's okay though. For being so young, you're very, very smart. That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So keep up the good work, man, and stay flat, okay?
Okay, I'm a flat earther.
Up for sound bites. This is awesome.
All right, 11:11, and welcome back to Anti-Religious Scripture Study with me, Karen B, and of course, Just Jack, Flat Earth. Shabbat
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
It is 11:11. We made it.
Yes, right at 11:11.
So, last week was Karen's call off,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes, it was my
now,
daughter's birthday.
yep. So to get people back to where we were, because it's kind of weird to like start a whole new book and then be gone for a week. But we're in the book of Deuteronomy, otherwise called Devariym, aka the words of order. So, um, we'll get into that in a moment. I'll just do my disclaimer. Just Jack's disclaimer. To the religious, if you believe it's wrong to study the scripture outside of your religion or denomination, if you believe your religious leaders or church are capable of having inherited anti-scriptural traditions of men, if you've already made up your mind about scripture, including the scripture shouldn't be studied at all, then the stream is not for you. To others, if you are open-minded to others' opinions, if you haven't made up your mind about, if you've been turned off to religion but
Oh, your audio's cutting in and out.
believe there's truth in scripture that may have been changed or hidden by religion, if you live,
Jack,
of
robot.
course I'm losing internet. Oh my gosh. Of course, we're going to be gone for a week and then come back with bad internet. Of course, that's how it goes. How are we doing?
uh,
Is it better now?
yeah, better.
Okay. If you live according to scripture and like to dig in and discover more, then the stream is for you. We are looking at scripture in the original language using concordances or dictionaries for root words as text from a non-religion perspective. We will as well have life experience discussion. We're not here to argue with others about theology or doctrine by the traditions of men, including Catholicism, Christianity, Islam, or Judaism. We will be discussing the importance of origins and show how religions contradict the scriptures. There you go. Alrighty then. So if I go back to the scriptures version and chapter 1, it was basically a recap of the traveling from one location to the next. And the Well, I mean, we could read these headings here, and they're pretty decent for this generic overarching, because this is what is typically done in the Torah is like there's an overarching statement, and then it gets into the details of the statement after the fact. Sometimes people use that to say, well, this happened twice, or this happened one time simply, and then the next time it happened more complicated. But that's not how it works. It's you tell an overarching um, statement, and then you get into the details of it. So here they're talking about appointing the leaders, which is the rulers of thousands, hundreds, fifties, ten,
Frozen.
and
Jack is frozen.
that
Jack.
way all the wisdom again. Test, check. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Totally indistinguishable, whatever you're trying to say. It's really bad. And we lost him. Wait, I can't hear you.
Is that better?
Yes, now I can hear you.
Okay. I don't know how well it's gonna pick up, but if I have to reset my router, I'll do it. It's just, it takes a little bit, so. All right. Um, so then there was spies that went into the land, and because they said that it would be too hard for them. So the spies said it would be too hard to enter the land, so all of them were not able to go into the land. So that whole entire generation died out before they entered the promised land, excluding Kalev, which means dog, Yehoshua, which is Moshe's right-hand man, otherwise known as Joshua, which is the same name as, uh, you know, renamed Jesus in the New Testament. It's the same
Mm-hmm.
name. Then there was the rebellion, where they, where they just didn't do what Yah was commanding them to do. They wanted to take charge of their own
Mm, mm, mm.
methods, and Moshe himself. Uh, all right,
Going,
so
what is going
all right.
on? Come on, technology. Work with us today. Work with us today. Technology. Jack.
Yeah, I'm going to restart my router.
Alrighty. Well, we're going to let Jack restart his router. That'll probably give him a couple of minutes. I am not going to restart the stream. However, since we did just start, if you're watching this at a later date, you might want to fast forward a little bit until you see the background come up again with the proper, with scriptures in the background. Shout out to those watching from the throne room. Much love, everyone. Good to see you guys. Thank you all for being here. Sorry about our technical difficulties. This happens to us sometimes. Sorry, you have to look at 3 of me for now. So, let me see if I can put this over here. So in first chapter, it was the command to leave Horeb. So that happened. Leaders appointed. Yeah, that's when they talk about where he found leaders of leaders and to take the pressure off of Moshe, because there's a lot of people. We're talking like hundreds of thousands of people, and every time they had, it's like anytime they have some sort of dispute, they had to go to Moshe to get it straightened out. So they, this is where they talk about, he tells Moshe to appoint leaders, and then for those leaders to appoint smaller leaders of under them to establish some sort of like system for dealing with people's disputes and not everybody having to go to Moshe. Israel's refusal to enter the land. We set out from Horeb and went through all that great and awesome wilderness which you saw on the way to the mountains of the Amorites, as Jehovah our Elohim commanded us, and we came to Kadesh Barnea. And see, Jehovah your Elohim set the land before you. Go up and possess it, as Jehovah Elohim of your fathers has spoken to you. Do not fear nor be discouraged. And then they sent out the spies. So 12 men, one from each tribe. And they spied it out, took out some fruit of the land of their hands, brought it down. The land which Jehovah our Elohim is giving us is good, but you would not go up, and rebelled against the mouth of Jehovah your Elohim. Penalty for Israel's rebellion. Still not back yet. Liking the headband. This is just what I wear when I'm not, I haven't brushed my hair. It's a great view. Hi, Gregory May. All right. So chapter 2, we're at the wilderness years. I'm so sorry, you guys. That's what happens. Now we gotta wait. The unenhanced, right. No makeup, no brushed hair. That's how I do scripture study. I'm like this every Saturday, pretty much. This is agonizing. Waiting. But it's not worth it to restart the stream because it would take me longer to set everything up again, you know? So here we are. The waiting is the hardest part. Ununited Nations? So, yeah. It's worth the wait. I hope so. Those without patience are forced to wait. Yep. Just gotta keep my eye open for him to come back. So also, I know a lot of people are asking me about Flattoberfest. I still do not have any announcements on Flattoberfest, but I am working on that in the background. There's things happening. We just don't have an official date or anything yet, but we are in processing. And we're trying to do it in Myrtle Beach, but I don't know yet for sure. And I don't know the dates. It may not be the same weekend, that third weekend in October. It might be a different weekend this year. So don't buy anything yet. Don't purchase any plane tickets yet. But I promise I will make an announcement as soon as I know. Patience is on the list of virtues, yes. Let me go check on my dog. Be right back. All right, everything's okay. Ted's here. I don't think Ted was home yet, but he is. Sorry. Maybe I can go back into, what do you call it? YouTube Studio after this and like edit this part out. I know. I heard my dog whining and he always whines to Ted. Then I go down there and Ted's there and I was like, oh. Thought maybe he had to go outside or something. Brian, did you hear about our chickens? Three dogs I've never seen before in my life came on the property, busted into the chicken pen, and killed every single chicken we have. All of our chickens are dead. It was pretty depressing. Yesterday was a bad day. Mark Sargent's Passover was on birthday. Birthday was on Passover, whatever. Passover started the other day, and Mark Sargent's birthday was on Passover. Yeah. Yes. Well, here's the crazy part. Like, I was home. I was up here in the upstairs, right, working on my computer, and I didn't hear anything, nothing, right? I can't really hear what's going on outside from here anyway, but Remington's downstairs. Remington didn't hear anything. He didn't bark. He made not a peep. I think he slept through the entire thing. Ted gets home. I go downstairs because I hear Ted's home, and we both walk to the back door and we see these strange dogs in the backyard, and then that's when we discovered what had happened. It was crazy. Yeah, every single chicken. NDB, you too? Yesterday? I mean, they just maybe coyotes, yeah. This one was dogs because we ran out and we saw them like standing over the dead chickens. It was like one of them was like a white pit, and then the other two were like mutts. One was like some kind of white terrier, and the other one was like a black dog with some white spots that had like longer hair. I'd never seen these dogs before in my life. I don't know if it was like if somebody new moved around here and they just decided to let their dogs run around and their shitty dogs came to my house and like killed all my chickens or what. Well, luckily the children weren't here and they don't know yet. They weren't here and they don't know yet. So I'm actually glad they weren't here because there was dead chickens all over the place. It was bad. There's still feathers out there. It's a mess. Oh, I see Jack's here now. Hello.
Hello. Can you hear me now?
Yes.
You need to turn down your phone so it's not echoing in her, yeah, in her mic. Okay, sharing screen. Can you please turn down your volume like to nothing?
Doesn't have you at all.
All right. Yeah, because there's always a delay. My wife is like, but you're not on there. So, all right. How's the signal now? Is it better?
Yeah, you sound good now.
Okay. I am so sorry about that. Like, usually even the reboot doesn't take that long. I was like, just start.
I know.
Very frustrating. But I could hear you. I could hear you talking because my wife was, listening via internet on her phone. So, all right. So we can get into chapter 2 now. After a long await, go ahead whenever you're ready.
All right. Let's see here. All right. Chapter 2, Deuteronomy. Then we turned and set out into the wilderness, the way of the sea of reeds, as Jehovah spoke to me, and we went around Mount Seir many days.
All right. So obviously we're talking about the Reed Sea crossing, and just for people's information, like this turned is the same as the face, like the face of the earth, right? This is, continue your face. And then the wilderness is, we talked about this last week, I believe, but the wilderness is also the same root as devar, which is word or ordered. And then with the prefix of from order is wilderness. All right. So verse 2.
And Jehovah spoke to me, saying, You have gone around this mountain long enough. Turn northward.
Okay.
And command the people, saying, You are about to pass over into the border of your brothers, the descendants of Esau, who live in Seir, and they are afraid of you, so be on your guard.
All right. And Esau is later called the Red. And that's what the tribe name is after, is the Reds. All right. Verse 5. I don't think that has to do with Russia, by the way.
Do not strive with them, for I do not give you any of their land, no, not so much as one footstep, because I have given Mount Seir to Esau as a possession.
Okay, so from the treading of the palm of your foot. So this is going to be important later. And I don't know why it didn't even, it just says one footstep. This one says not so much as a foot breadth, which is actually more proper, foot palm. But it doesn't say the treading of the foot palm. So this is going to be important later because when he tells them how to declare their land, they say it's everywhere that your foot palm is, that will be your inheritance. And the reason that's important is because when they did the location of the what I assume and many assume now, the real Mount Sinai, they actually found flat stones with a traced carving of their sandal and the paleo letter Koth, which means palm. So it's the palm of the foot. So it's like a landmark that shows the Koth meaning their palm, and then they actually traced out their sandal footprint. So it's the palm of their foot.
Hmm.
So that's important. And here this is that statement, Koth regal. So palm the foot. All right.
What food you buy from them with silver you shall eat, and also what water you buy from them with silver you shall drink.
All right.
For Jehovah your Elohim has blessed you in all the work of your hand. He has known your wandering through his great wilderness. These 40 years Jehovah your Elohim has been with you. You have not lacked any matter.
And if you remember the first time that they tried to cross through, they're like, "Hey, we're just passing through, and we're not stopping. If you could just let us go through." And they're like, "Nah, we'll go to war."
And when we passed beyond our brothers, the descendants of Esau who dwell in Seir, away from the way of the desert plain, away from Elat and Etzion Geber, we turned and passed over by way of the wilderness of Moab.
All right.
And Jehovah said to me, do not distress Moab, nor stir yourself up against them in battle, for I do not give you any of their land as a possession, because I have given Ar to the descendants of Lot as a possession.
And that's Lot, but yeah, everybody says Lot.
Lot.
And battle is this word war, which is the same root as lechem, bread. And that's because you tear bread. So from the tearing, which is battle, war. All right.
The Emites had dwelt there formerly, a people as great and numerous and tall as the Anakim.
Okay, so I don't know why they went with the Emites. Because actually King James got it more right this time. The Amim. Right? Well, without the S, because Eam makes it plural, right?
Mm.
So the Emites, I guess they're just translating all the Eames to ites. But it's the group of them from M.
Okay. They were also
M being the family name, sorry. Go ahead.
They were also reckoned as Rephaites, like the Anakim, but the Moabites call them Emites.
All right. Okay, so Rephaim, right? Which is the giant healers. Okay. You're not going to get that in English, unfortunately. But yeah, they're giant healers.
Giant healers. So in KJV,
And
it just
here
says
here it
giants.
just says giants.
Huh.
But the Rapha means to heal. So like there was a time where I think it was, hold on, trying to find the root here. Okay, so if you go back to the root here, it says a primitive root properly to mend, that is figuratively to cure, heal, physician, repair, thoroughly make whole. Yeah. So there was, I believe it was an altar that Abraham had that was called Jehovah Rapha, which is Jehovah's our healer, right? So that's how I recognize when I saw Rapha. I'm like, that's not just giants, which is what's called out here, and the Rephaites. Um, yeah, it would have been a tribe of the giant healers.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The Anakim were also giants, but the Rephaites were called healers for some reason. All right.
Interesting. And the Horites formerly dwelt in Seir, but the descendants of Esau dispossessed them and destroyed them from before them, and dwelt in their place, as Israel did to the land of their possession, which Jehovah gave them.
So it's saying that Esau's tribe had previously knocked out these tribes and taken over the land. And the reason I said that they're called red now is like Edomites is the same thing as the descendants of Esau. I think like if you look in the last chapter when it's talking about them, it only calls them the Edomites. And this one's it's like descendants of Esau, descendants of Esau, descendants of Esau. That way you know who the Edomites are.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 13.
Now rise up and pass over the Wadi Zered. So we passed over the Wadi Zered.
And a wadi is a
River?
it's kind of like a river, only it doesn't have the constant inflow and outflow.
Mm.
You know, so like maybe rainy times it's a river, but most of the time it's just a long lake, if you will.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that's a wadi. A wadi is like, you know, part of a river that doesn't stay a river. So, all right, 14.
And the time we took to come from Kadesh Barnea until we passed over the Wadi Zered was 38 years, until all the generation of the men of battle was consumed from the midst of the camp, as Jehovah had sworn to them.
All right, so men of the battle, that means everyone above 20 years of age that came out of Egypt.
And also the hand of Jehovah was against them, to destroy them from the midst of the camp until they were consumed.
Yeah, and don't forget, some of them may have died of natural causes, but there was a lot of rebellion where they like tried to stand against Yah, and there was the ones who went to war because they did have to go to war a couple times. So, you know, some people might think, okay, well, if they were 20 when they left Egypt, they were 58 when they had all died out, right? But again, some of them didn't die of natural causes. So that's important to remember.
Okay. And it came to be, when all the men of battle had finally perished from among the people, that Jehovah spoke to me, saying, This day you are to pass over at Ar, the boundary of Moab. And when you come near the children of Ammon, do not distress them, nor stir yourself up against them, for I do not give you any of the land of the children of Ammon as a possession, because I have given it to the descendants of Lot as a possession.
That's the Ammonites, right?
That was also reckoned as a land of Rephaites. Rephaites formerly dwelt there, but the Ammonites call them Zamzumim.
Right. So from Zamzum. So the Ammonites call the Rephaites Zamzumim. I'm gonna take a quick look here from the devisers, the plotters. So they considered them plotters, you know.
A people as great and numerous and tall as the Anakim, but Jehovah destroyed them before them, and they dispossessed them and dwelt in their place.
The children of Lot did, yes.
Children of Lot did what? Because it gets confusing when it's like they,
Yeah,
them,
because it's
this,
going back
that.
and forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it says, when you come near the children of Ammon, do not distress them nor stir themselves up in them, because I did not give them to the land of the children of Ammon as a possession, because I've given that to the descendants of Lot. All right, so that's who inherited the land, right?
Right.
That was also reckoned the land as the Rephaites. Rephaites formerly dwelt there, but the Ammonites call them the Zemzumim. Don't know why the Ammonites call them Zemzumim. Maybe that they've plotted against them or something. But the people are numerous and tall, as the Anakim, who are the Rephaites,
But
otherwise known as the Zamzumim.
okay, but Yehovah destroyed them before them. Destroyed who
Right,
before who?
right. The the Rephaites who formerly dwelt there, they're no longer there
Okay.
because the descendants of Lot took them as a possession.
Okay.
So Jehovah, being honoring to Lot, destroyed them before them and dispossessed them and dwelt in their place,
Okay.
as he had done for the descendants of Esau who dwelt in Seir.
Mm-hmm.
Which, yeah, I'll let you read there.
Yeah, as he had done for the descendants of Esau who dwelt in Seir, when he destroyed the Horites from before them, they dispossessed them and dwelt in their place, even to this day.
So this really has nothing to do with the Israelites. It has nothing to do with Moshe. But he's like, the reason that the people who are in control of these lands now are because Yah helped Lot, Yah helped Esau, Esav, and that's why they inherit the land now, because before it was inherited by these bigger, stronger dudes who they shouldn't have been able to conquer, but they did because Yah delivered them into their hand, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more like giving props to Yah to have favor in war.
Okay. And the Avim who dwelt in villages as far as Azah, the Kaphtorim who came from Kaphtor, destroyed them and dwelt in their place.
Okay, so the Avim, wait,
So the Avim and the Kaphtors were both destroyed? Is that what that's saying?
and the Avim who dwelt in villages,
And the Kaphtorim who came from Kaphtor destroyed them
yeah,
and dwelt in their place.
it looks like they were both destroyed for the sake of Esau. Okay, yeah.
Arise, set out, and pass over the Wadi Arnon. See, I have given into your hand Sihon, an Amorite, sovereign of the Heshbon and his land.
Okay, so Sihon is the name of the Amorite who was the sovereign of Heshbon and his land. So they've not done this yet. They're about to do this.
Begin to possess it and stir up yourself against him in battle.
All right.
This day I begin to put the dread and fear of you upon the peoples under all the heavens, who, when they hear the report of you, shall tremble and shake because of you.
Okay, so this is a precursor. This will come up again later when I think like even people who haven't gone to church have heard, the Battle of Jericho where they marched around the wall and the wall eventually fell down. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Jericho is where this verse comes into play, where they're like, yeah, we heard of all the battles that you like easily won in the wilderness, and that's why Jericho's already scared. Even though Jericho's a very warring country, they decided to hunker down in the wall instead. So that's what that's about. It'll come up later. All right, 26.
Then I sent messengers from the wilderness of Kedemoth to Sihon, sovereign of Heshbon, with words of peace, saying...
One moment. Messengers can also be translated as angels, although I don't... Yeah, I think they translated it properly. Just to let you know, it's the same word.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Let me pass over through your land on the highway. I shall go on the highway and turn neither to the right nor to the left.
But can you imagine, like, Moshe sent an angel to say, hey, I need to travel. All right.
What food you sell me for silver, I shall eat, and what water you give me for silver, I shall drink. Only let me pass over on foot.
Okay.
As the descendants of Esau who dwell in Seir and the Moabites who dwell in Ar did for me, until I pass over the Yarden to the land Yehovah our Elohim is giving us. But Sihon, sovereign of Heshbon, would not let us pass over. For Yehovah your Elohim hardened his spirit and strengthened his heart to give him into your hand, as it is this day.
All right, so Sihon rebelled and was like, nope, I'm not going to sell you food. I'm going to go to war with you.
And Yehovah said to me, See, I have begun to give Sihon and his land over to you. Begin to possess, in order to possess his land.
So again, this is this Yehovah your Elohim hardened his spirit and strengthened his heart. This is the same kind of thing that happened with Pharaoh.
Yeah.
When the Pharaoh didn't want to let the people go, and like
Mm-hmm.
he was like, okay, I'll let you go if you leave your children or you leave your flocks or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And every time he's like, and then he hardened his heart again. It's like, nope, you're not going anywhere. So yeah, it's like Yah gave them inspiration to not be kind. So that's hard for some people to think about, that Yehovah can inspire you one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right.
And Sihon and all his people came out against us to fight at Yahatz. And Yehovah our Elohim gave him over to us, so we struck him and his sons and all his people. And we took all his cities at the time, and we put the men, women, and little ones of every city under the ban. We left none remaining. Only the livestock we took as plunder for ourselves, and the spoil of the cities which we captured.
Okay.
From Aroer, which is on the edge of the Wadi Arnon, and the city that is by the Wadi, as far as Gilad, there was not one city too high for us. Yehovah our Elohim gave all to us.
Right. Again, these are war nations that were fighting a bunch of nomads, right? If you want to simplify it. And put under the ban means like, what's the word? Oh, I'm trying to think of the modern word for it. Like you're kicked out, you're never allowed to return to the kingdom. What's the word called?
Like banishment. Banishment. That's what
Yeah, there's another word that I can't think of, but yes, banishment is a simplified of it.
Excommunicated.
Yeah.
Um
All right. Yeah, it's gonna bother me because I'm weird like that if I have a word that I can't think of, but we can move on.
All right.
All right.
Only you did not go near the land of the children of Ammon, anywhere along the Wadi Yavok, or to the cities of the mountains, or anywhere as Yehovah our Elohim commanded us.
All right, there we go. That wraps up chapter 2. Sorry for the long technical difficulties. Let's see here. I closed down the chat, obviously, because my computer went down. So now I gotta pull that back up.
Exile.
Exiled. That's the word I was thinking
There you
of.
go. Exiled.
Yeah.
That's why I said excommunicated, because I was trying to think of, I was thinking of something with X at the beginning.
I was like, yeah, excommunication works too, but it's not the word I'm thinking of.
Yeah, exiled. That's the word. Yeah.
All right. Come on, chat, load. All right, there we go. My goodness. Live chats. All right, you probably already did this, but shout out to FE Nation, Jason Valencia or Yazin, I'm not sure which way it's pronounced. Aisling 717, Flat Earth Handy, or Flat Earth Andy. Sorry, you should put some spaces in there. It looks like Flat Earth Handy because I read it fast. Anyway, Gregory May, 16 Olive, MBD, Carolyn, Austin Murphy, Dose of Reality.
You know, in the King James version of that verse 34, it says, and we took all his cities at that time and utterly destroyed the men and women and the little ones. So it makes it sound like they slaughtered everybody. But then
they let them flee if they were women and children, but they did. Anyone who tried to stay were killed completely, utterly destroyed. But yeah, this is
Exterminate, completely destroy, consecrate,
of captured or
or it could be captured, right?
yeah, to capture net.
Hmm. Interesting.
Let's see.
Gen-
PK.
genocide is what it sounded like, right, Cammy?
All right. That's everybody. I don't see any. I see a lot of conversation about the chickens.
Oh, was it? I'm sorry.
Oh, Valley Parks as well. Shout out to Valley Parks. All right. All right. What's next week gonna be? If we do it next week, hopefully we do. Oh, Og. We getting into Og. Remember Gog, Magog, and Og?
Yes.
So we're gonna be getting in Gog next week.
Interesting.
We did.
Good. I want to read about Gog and Magog.
Yeah, we did Gog and Magog, I think, in Numbers at one point.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, but they all appear to be the same. They're related. Let's put it that way. So they have the same root. Let's see. Banish, exile, expel, deport, eject, expatriate, extradite, repatriate. I don't know. Repatriate. I don't know that one.
Repatriate.
Transport. Yeah. Cast out, oust, drive away, evict, throw out, exclude, shut out, ban. All right. FE Nation had a skunk that killed his chickens. I had a raccoon that killed her chickens.
A skunk. Wow. I didn't know skunks
Anyways.
killed chickens.
Enough about the chicken.
I'm sorry.
All right. Yeah, so next week we're gonna start getting into the battles, which is good. Yep. So this is just to remind people, Deuteronomy is like basically Moshe's last speech before they enter into the promised land, because he doesn't get to enter the promised land because he rebelled against Yah
Mm-hmm.
and struck the rock instead of declaring the rock. So, alrighty.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for another episode of Anti-Religious Scripture Study. We always appreciate everyone who comes and joins us every Saturday morning.
And appreciate your patience with me trying to fix the technical difficulty.
Sorry about our technical difficulties, but thanks for being here and sticking with us anyway. And have a wonderful rest of your day.
The earth is still flat.
The earth
and
is
Shabbat
still
Shalom.
flat. Shabbat Shalom. All right. See y'all later.
Bye.